It's good, y'all. You know who this is, man. It's your brother, man, from the motherland, aka Mr. Pimp Game himself. I'm outside with it. You know, I'm here to talk my sugar honey iced tea with no prophecies and looking out for the enemies that trying to assassinate my character like Kennedy. We outside. We outside. Yeah. Hey, yo. I want to pose a question to you guys, and I want you guys to give me an honest answer. Should we even fear the God of the Bible? I'm just posing that question, and I want you guys to really be honest and truthful with me. And I want you to also show me what great in return that we receive, and not no mystical story. We talking about just regular life. We talking about just regular life. Can anybody show me where being obedient and respectful and honorable and following the ways of the God of the Bible and the ways of Jesus of the Bible has it elevated us to a place of greatness? I mean, I got to start it off like that because I got to pose a question because, I got to ask this question because as I sit here and I'm driving and I'm meditating, just trying to figure out what can I bring forth to the people to show the people the contradictions at its highest order when it's pertaining to the God of the Biblos. This is why I tell you guys all the time that the God of the Biblos, you know what I'm saying? And this is no disrespect. This is why I tell you guys all the time that the God of the Biblos has absolutely nothing to do with our creators. Our creators does not associate with the Biblos. You know why? Because our creators are individuals of power and morality. And what I mean by that is, when you read the book of Job, God is taking a wager with the devil, right? He's taking a wager with the devil. The devil or Satan or Lucifer, whoever you want to call him, because everybody's saying it's different and everybody's saying it's the same. Whatever you want to call it, right? I'm trying to figure out how is God making wages with the devil that allows the devil to torment a man that's been completely obedient, to this God of the Biblos. He takes a wager with the devil. And within this bet, he purposely allows Job to go through it all. This man lost his family. This man lost his home. This man lost his children. This man lost his wife. This man lost everything. He lost everything over a bet that the devil and God had. But how did God or the devil make it into the presence of the God when God kicked them out and said, you are forbidden from ever having access into the kingdom? Now this man did such a horrific thing, gets access to the kingdom. And niggas like us who do things like fornicate, have multiple wives, don't follow monogamy and all that. Everybody's polygamous, everybody's talk, you know what I'm saying? They're burning in hell, or they're destined for hell. You see things like that. That bothers me. It bothers me because you're going to tell me that the mistakes that we are doing due to the environment that you allow us to be in, the same thing you allowed to go to Job, you're allowing it to go with us, and you expecting us to. And this is just my hypothetical theory. You're expecting us to overcome it like how Job did, in return to receive something greater at the end. No matter what woman comes into a man's life, no matter how many children a man makes, when you have a relationship with a child and these children are grown and they adults and they passed away, and you find out that they passed away due to a fucking test, let's just call it what it is. You telling me a new child is going to replace that feeling? Absolutely not. And for the so-called God of the Biblos, because that's what you gotta call it, God of the Biblos. I'm not gonna say the creators. I'm not gonna associate El Kebul in Africa, black people, with a story written and given unto us by their hands and the works of your hands. I'm not doing that. So we're gonna call it what it is. But you're telling me that this God is giving the green light for a man to go through torments, to lose his family, in return of what? Like, how do you replace that? And just logical sense and logical theory, how do you replace that? You won't even be able to forgive your closest friend. You won't even be able to forgive your closest friend. You won't even be able to forgive your brother and sister if they did something like that to you. How are you now going to tell me that God would allow such things to happen? Take a wager with the devil just to allow you to suffer and be at the bottom to prove a point. To prove that you are the biggest submissive slave. No matter what happens, no matter what they go through, you're gonna be on my ass. You're gonna be submissive to me. That sounds like slavery, bro. That sounds like the slave master talking. That sounds like the slave master talking to his servants, bro. That sounds like something a slave master will write for his servants to acknowledge and respect and honor and deal with, bro. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It just does not make sense, bro. So it leads to me asking that question: should we even fear the God of the Biblos? Because it seems like the God of the Biblos is more afraid of the devil and have more respect for the devil than us, his bare children, the one that he called his children, the one that says he's gonna bring you back unto me so we can gather untogether and sing kumbaya and holiday saints. Come on. You are you telling me that this is what it is? I feel like this God has more fear and honor and respect for the devil than he do his so-called children. Because like I said, things just don't add up. It just doesn't add up. And you guys can put yourself in a trance to make it add up or make it believe. But in reality, it just doesn't add up. And if it doesn't add up, you gotta question, what are we doing? And I'm speaking mainly for black people. I'm speaking for those that has invested their entire life into a story that we cannot prove. We cannot prove it. It doesn't matter what you say, you cannot prove it. You cannot prove it. You can't trace a black man back to Hebrew outside of the story that they tell you. You can't trace it back, bro. When I listen and I heard about the Igbo people, because everybody is in this hypnosis about being the Igbo people, they are the true Jews. Check this out, man. When you go down the rabbit hole about these Igbo people, you'll find out that the Igbo people was one of the original people that was intermingling with those people. And as a sign of respect, they had to pick up on their culture. Okay? And some of them was just removed because after they're done with a nigger, you know what I'm saying? After they're done doing what they're doing with a nigga, they just dispose of it and they go find somebody else. You know that. You know that. Hit the like button, man. Please hit the like button. I want this to start going out to the people, man. We're not playing games with the effery no more. All that bullshit got to get thrown outside. All that nonsense, all this lack of information, all of this lack of understanding, all of this foolishness, man. We throwing all that out the window, man. So are you going to tell me that we supposed to fear the God of the Biblos when the God of the Biblos don't even have no honor and respect for us? Where's the true protection that everybody's talking about? I want to see where this true protection is. You honestly believe that it's God that's keeping you alive? Or is it you? Or is it because your ancestors? Or is it because it's just not your time? And I'm not here, listen carefully, people. I'm not here to go against and sound like no atheist. That's not what I'm here to do. Absolutely not. I believe in a higher power. Yes. Because these Christians and these heathenites and these Israelites, they're quick to say, look, see, he gone into the world. He following the devil. He not walking in righteousness. You gotta let it be known. I respect yes. But what I'm saying is that the creators of us, the creators that made the black and brown melanated skinned people from the ground up, not the story, just logical sense, is not the God that's spoken of in the Bible. That God that's being mentioned in the Bible is not the God of our creators. Now, the story of our creators, I want to make it honest and tell you the truth. The only way we're going to get the true understanding of our creators is going back to talk to our ancestors. And when I mean our ancestors, talking to our relatives. You got to stop. You got to remember, our history is oral. Pause. We don't do this writing and all of this nonsense. Everything is oral. We keep everything in here and we pass it on. They created that story. You ever heard the story when it goes to 10 people? By the time it gets to the 10th person, it's a different story? No, because when they write it, it's going to come like that. But when we do it, us as individuals, when we share that knowledge and wisdom, it's the same story over and 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 over again. When it's pertaining to our history. Not nothing that you did last night, not a chick that you bagged, not some extra emphasis you want to throw to make it seem like what you're saying is fire. No, we're not talking that. We talking literally, people. Check this out, man. We talking literally things that really happen in our life. This is what we talking. Listen, come on now. Like I said once, and I'm going to say it again, man, you guys got to make these things make sense, bro. We cannot be this naive anymore. It's just beyond pathetic that we are living our lives in this mental state of mind and we're not trying to break out of it. Like we're really just cool. Like, nah, this is how we gonna function. Fuck it. It's just like this. Keep it like that. As long as I'm making my money and I'm doing this, it's just like that. This is the mentality that we have. But do we honestly have to fear the God of the Biblos? Because the God of the Biblos has absolutely no respect for us. He takes wages on our lives, on our everyday lives. Your God is taking wages. And I don't want to say your God. The God that's written of in the Biblos is taking wages. That sounds to me, and this is just me being honest, it sounds to me like a slave owner talking to his God, which probably is the devil. Because there's no creators of ours that would even think to do such thing. That's beyond pathetic. That's beyond absurd. Just think about it. Remove religion out of it. Just think about it logically as a father, as a mother. Just think about if somebody did that to you, how would you recoup? How would you react? How would you take that? Would you take it? How would you feel if somebody gave the green light to get your entire family executed? And the reason behind that is to show the world that you're going to still be submissive to your job. You're still going to be submissive to your king. You're still going to be submissive to your slave owner. You got to make it make sense. Listen, man, I'm just asking the questions that people are afraid to ask. You cannot tell me that this is the creators of ours. You cannot tell me that. You cannot tell me that the creator, the God that created the black and brown melanated people. You cannot tell me. And we're gonna base on based on scriptures. Based on scriptures. I don't know how knowledgeable you guys are. But you're not going to tell me that this God saves 3 people from a flood, allow them to produce, procreate, and get into an altercation with a pharaoh, not a nation. Listen carefully. Not the nations of Egyptians, with the pharaoh. And it's not even him getting into an altercation. It's him sending Moses, sending Moses, saying, "Yo, Moses, go tell him to do this." So he's really not getting into an altercation with. He's really not getting into an altercation with the pharaoh. But again, this is a man that don't have beef with the nation. He has beef with one particular situation, one particular man, which is the Pharaoh. And he has the opportunity to handle his situation with the Pharaoh. Let Moses tell the Pharaoh, listen, at 12 o'clock, if these people are not with their bags packed and allowed to walk outside, I am going with your first son, the son that you love the most, where he's going to be killed. That's what my God told me to tell you. That's not what took place. What took place was a man supposedly unaliving every single firstborn. Doesn't matter their age, doesn't matter nothing. Every firstborn was being removed off the face of this earth. Just for a man to prove a point to the Pharaoh, when all he had to do was get to the Pharaoh. Because when the Pharaoh seen that his son was dead, not the nation, he didn't give a damn about everybody else. When the Pharaoh seen that his son was dead, that's when he submitted and gave the green light for all the Israelites to go. See, I pay attention to details. I don't fall for the yoke. I don't fall for these things, people. I pay attention. This is why I'm public enemy number 1. This is why my character, this is why the things that I'm bringing forth, it's causing a level of friction. Because the friction is not even a friction. It's just, bro, all right, enough is enough. I see what this religion has done to us. I seen the good, the bad, the in between. But what is the overall state? What is the overall end goal? What is the end goal? When you start speaking this end goal to people and you start asking what's the end goal? Like, all right, so we here, we believers. What is the end goal? Everybody say the same thing. Yeah, we're looking to buy some land, and we're talking to these people and those people, and then after we're finished with that, we're gonna do this. It's like it's the same scenario over and over again. It's never a game plan, but yet we're putting ourselves out there telling the world that we're ready to stand before the system. We're telling the world that we're ready to stand before the system. We're telling the world that we're ready to stand before a system. Hold on, I gotta take this call. Give me a second. Yeah, my bad. A client of mine's called me. You know what I'm saying? Talking that talk. But anyway, you feel me? You're not going to tell me that this God that could easily take his frustration out on Pharaoh decided to take it out on a nation of people that has no knowledge of what's going on between Moses and the Pharaoh, but yet the people suffer. You're telling me that the God that saved the three people, allowed the people to produce and produce children, is now allowing genocide to take place just to prove a point? You gotta make that make sense. You cannot tell me that this is the God of the El Kebulan people. You're not telling me that this is the God of the El Kebulan people. Because every time I read, every time I look, all I see is genocide upon black people, bro. If you say Adam and Eve was the first, and those are black people, and the world was full of black people, then that means Sodom and Gomorrah was a land full of black people, right? This is how you know that story does not even add up, because we don't even participate in that Bate Boy stuff. You know what I'm saying? That spirit came from, from the Egyptians and all that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just gonna call it what it is. The Egyptians was, you know what I'm saying, they was into that side of the, you know what I'm saying, into that spectrum. They was into it, you know what I mean? They know that. This is it's historical facts. You can look these things up. They was into that. You know what I'm saying? And this is what I'm trying to have you guys to understand, that the story that you guys are reading is literally the story taken from the Egyptian text, and they created their own version. When the Greeks and the Romans invaded Egypt, when they went inside Egypt and they looked inside the artifacts and they opened and they seen certain things, they say, yo, they see all the gold, they see all the statues, they was like, yo, how did these people do that? They was checking the records. Okay? They was speaking to the Egyptians. They was talking to the people of the land. See, they was doing their homework. See, the goal was to, how do we mimic this and gain everything that the Egyptians gained? And they figured out that you got to control them with religion. You got to give them something to believe in. You got to give them something to look forward to. You got to give them something to be hopeful for. That's where you get the story of Horus. The story of Horus is literally people of old, before religion and all of that, was when individuals used to give honor to the sun. See, the sun was the ultimate power. Because if there's no sun, sun brings the light. That's why the Bible stories is always a story that's mimicking the sun in the sky. That's why when they paint the picture, they got to paint the picture with him in front of the sun. See, before they had to put him in front of the sun for you not to understand that you are one with the sun. The sun is your strength. The sun is your light. The sun is your understanding. Your sun is your direction, right? Those things, the sun is literally food for the El Kebulan people. Food, fuel. You want to live long? Be in the sun. You want to live long? Be in the sun. Eat your fruits. Eat everything that needs dependence on the sun. Don't eat don't eat the stuff that you could just put in a can. Don't eat the things that you could keep in a bag, in a Ziploc bag for 30 days, 6 years, and nothing happens. Those are the things that's destroying our bodies. You got to eat the things that's going to cleanse you. Anything that needs the sun for it to flourish and be at its best is what you're supposed to eat. Watermelons is at its best when? In the summertime. That's what you're supposed to eat. Grapes, best, summertime. That's when you're supposed to eat. I just finished eating my grapes. I just finished having my smoothie. You know what I'm saying? This is why you see my face getting lighter. This is why you see, you know what I'm saying, making sure that the wrinkles and all that. We not playing no game. We transitioning. You know what I'm saying? It's about longevity. I got a little man. My little man gonna be 2 years old next week. He'll be 2 years old. I gotta live another 80 years for this little nigga. You heard? I gotta live. I gotta make sure that I'm alive to witness and see the springs is going. You understand what I'm saying to you? I gotta make sure of these things. We gotta make sure of these things. Think about that. You gotta make sure of these things. So of course you see, hold on. Make sure this is on. That's what it is. Turn that off. Yeah, Bobby Smyrna. I was where Bobby Smyrna and them from. Roddy Rebel and all that. I was just over there. You know what I'm saying? But damn, I just lost my train of thought. But yeah, eating clean, eating healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like all that fasting, I don't know what else can I say, what else can I do to make individuals shy away or step away from this this doctrine, bro, this mind manipulating, controlling doctrine, bro, that has absolutely no connection with the El Capulan people. The creators has absolutely no connection. It has no connection with the Biblos, bro. We're not gonna disrespect them like that, bro. I'm not gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? If you guys choose to, that's on you, but I'm not gonna do that because I know what it is, and it ain't that. You feel me? It ain't what these niggas is selling us, bro. It's not. It's not what these niggas is selling us, bro. It's not. All of it, all of it is just lies, confusion, deception, misleading, misguiding. It's all of it. And I'm gonna just keep saying the truth. And no, this is not me being a rebellious. Oh, he'd be rebellious. He's mad. I'm not mad, bro. Listen, I'm far from being mad, bro. Every time I'm alive and I see my children, I see my daughter growing up, maturing, seeing her passing school, you know what I'm saying? I'm on my grind, seeing everybody happy. You know what I'm saying? My mom's is good. My oldest son is good. My daughter is good. You know what I'm saying? You know, my baby moms and them got their issues and all that, but you know what I mean? They cool. You know what I'm saying? And my wish, she cool. You know what I'm saying? We got our issues, but it's never something to the point where I gotta just walk around being mad. You know what I'm saying? If you know me personally, you know Jones is never mad. This is me all the time, bro. I've always been militant, bro, from small. My pops had us watching karate at 1 year old, bro. Discipline was at 1 year old. If my pops was alive, a lot of shit that I be doing, he would have snapped me back into reality, and I would understand that because my pops taught us discipline. My pops wasn't a drinker. My pops wasn't a smoker. You know what I'm saying? My pops caught me smoking right now. He'd be on my ass. My mom be on my ass. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I come from that militant. Niggas be thinking that I be upset, and that's why he's going against the Bible. And nah, bro. Even when I was on good terms behind the scenes, I was like, yo, bro, yo, this is not making sense. Yo, look at these things that we're saying is giving reference to the devil. Yo, the Biblos is connected to it's connected. Yo, look, big bro, I'm reading it. Look, I got the information. They ask for multiple sources. They say, yo, give us two or more. I give three. I give four. I give the information, and yet it's like, nah, Junes, we not doing that. Look, another brother dead. Word. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, to just call it what it is, bro. You know what I mean? I provide information after information. I start seeking more. I start, I start like, hold on, let me go look into the things that we can't get access to. Let me go look into these white people that's been doing this for a long time. So this is not no fabricated story where people is just trying to make a YouTube. These are people that's invested 60 years of their lives into these studies, trying to debunk this. This is not no money grab. This is not no money scheme. This is I started like, oh, I had to go on other websites, watch old videos that you cannot put on YouTube. I'm seeing this. I'm analyzing it. I'm connecting the dots. Which leads me to start asking those questions. Yo, bro. You said Solomon has 700 wives, right? And the answer is, yeah, man, 700 wives. I said, yo, at that time he was royalty, right? Yeah. So how come we're not able to trace not one of these 700 children? These 700 wives, and I'm sure there's multiple children. Why are we not able to find them? Why are we not even able to find the names? They got all these names in the book of Chronicles, but they don't got the wives of Solomon? Jacob begot Leah. Leah begot this, and Leah brought forth that. You're not going to bring forth Solomon? Which obviously it seems like, you know, him having all these wives is like a badge of honor, right? It's like a badge of honor having all these wives, all these concubines, all these mistresses, whatever. Seems like a badge of honor. But where's the information to justify this badge of honor? Where's the children? Where's the inheritance? So no, everybody just stayed in Israel and just died slow? I mean, come on. That's all I'm saying. If you're gonna sell me the story, just make that shit make sense. If you're gonna sell me the story, just make that shit make sense. You have to make it make sense. And when there's no sense, right? When there's no sense, by default, by human nature, you're supposed to disqualify anything that does not make any sense. I've been saying for a long time, bro, that if things don't make sense, we gotta step away. 700 wives, and we can't trace nothing. We more focus on locations and maps and writings, saying that this is the truth, knowing that the illustrators is still not of a black man. Why all my understanding of what's going on in the world must come from the eyesight and the ideology and the philosophy of a European? That's not good enough for me. It's not good enough for us. That's not acceptable, pimpin'. I cannot accept that. Any black man that wants to accept that, you are the problem into why we are in a rapid decline. You are the problem, bro. You're not going to tell me that, bro. You gotta make these things make sense, pimpin'. That's all I'm saying, bro. You gotta make these things make sense, bro. Nobody's able to trace that. And then you start asking other questions like, okay, so Solomon, right? Okay, forget Solomon. All right, so what's up with David? How are we skipping all of Solomon's children, all of David's children, but miraculously make it to Joseph and Jesus? But miraculously make it to Joseph and Jesus, my niggas. You have to make that make sense, pimp. You have to make that make sense. There's no way on God's green earth are we, us, me, you, the divine source, the connected source, we're able to trace from David. We went through how many Babylonian captivity, this, that. But for some miraculous reason, they kept the story of Jesus They made sure they kept the lineage of Jesus, but couldn't keep the lineage of Solomon, the most wisest man. Couldn't keep the lineage of David, the best king. Couldn't keep the lineage of nobody but Joseph and Jesus? That is absurd. And when I see things like that, and I ask questions, and I'm over the hypnosis, because I used to teach this. I used to be like, yeah, man, word up, bro. Yo, look, it's right here. Be excited. Until you go down, like I said, until you go down that rabbit hole, and you start looking into people that's been doing this for years. Not the Johnny come lately. We talking about individuals that's been doing these studies for over 40, 50 years. Some of them is dead and gone. Some of these people that I had to go look into was individuals who actually been there. A lot of us is gaining our knowledge and wisdom from people that has not been there. One of my to-do lists, I have to make my way to El Kebulan. I have to feel that land. I have to speak to the people. I have to see what the heck is going on. But a lot of us is gaining our information from those that's not there, that hasn't traveled, that hasn't done the archaeological studies. It's one thing to be there because you living there and you chilling there, and it's another thing to be there on a mission. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission to find the truth. I'm on a mission to see what's going on. I want a mission to know my nationality. I want a mission to know who I am before slavery. A lot of us is not doing that. A lot of us is just basing our ideology on the things that we see on TV. We basing our things, we basing our studies on what religion. Like, for me, and this is no disrespect for those that's invested, because I was invested. This is no disrespect. But I feel like when we invest ourselves into the religion, I feel like we just waving the white flag, bro. I feel like as black people, we just waving the white flag. I feel like as black people, it's like saying, you know what, I don't want to fight. I don't want to stand for justice. I don't want to stand for unity. I'm just going to wave my white flag. I'm just going to be a good boy, wash my dishes, wash my hand, go to work, not hurt nobody. And I know that somebody's going to come and bring me back to the promised land and a happy place, because that's where I belong, because of all the shit that I went through. This is what I feel. This is what I feel religion has done. Yo, bro, I see warriors, bro. I remember when I was in the congregation, man, I seen warriors. I was like, yo, bro, if you was able to put this energy into the streets on a positive tip, and you got a force behind you, that could stand side by side, not side by side to the in-depths of the machine, but able to stand side by side where you can breathe just a little bit, bro. Where you can breathe just a little bit, bro. We don't have that. And that's a big issue for us, pimping. It's a big issue. We don't have that. Not only do we not have it, we don't desire it either. And I feel like because of the Biblos is why we okay with that. Think about it. Think about all the religious people that's so fully invested into the Biblos or the Quran. Look at their nature, look at their attitude. That's not what you call pure righteousness. That's pure feminine righteous. That's feminineness. That's what that is. Think about it. Look how the Mandem is not standing like warriors. Look how the Mandem is not about business. Look at when things go wrong. We quick to say it's because they're not keeping the commandments. They're walking with the devil. They're doing drugs. They drinking alcohol. They doing all the fuckery that the black man was designed to do, and now because of that, they made a mistake. They failed. They suffer. Now, granted, if you do the most foolish, heinous, stupidity shit that causes you to die, I'm gonna tell you about yourself. But if you're just living your regular life and just trying to get by, and you made mistakes in your journey of life, you're telling me that you're subject to what, bro? Like I said, the story don't add up. And when I start asking those questions, people see me as the villain. I'm the bad guy. I'm the rebellious nigga. I'm never rebellious, bro. I just ask the questions that you too afraid to ask. I ask the questions that if you don't give me the correct answer, I'm gonna step away. And my reasoning for stepping away is deeper than just the doctrine. Is how I'm watching the men become, bro. I said how I was like, how are we supposed to be the image of God and we're this weak? We're this emotional. We're this humble. We're this gentle. How is that even possible? Huh? And when I see that, and when I see that it's never been about brotherly love. It's never about a unity. It's not about a community. It's not about the rebuilding of a nation. It's never about that. It's only about following my doctrine. True word. It's only about following my doctrine, bro. It's literally all about following my doctrine. It has nothing to do with it has nothing to do with rebuilding a nation. It has nothing to do with, you know, getting land, building it from the ground up. It has absolutely nothing to do with that. So, my bad, guys. Absolutely nothing to do with that, bro. So when you see me standing how I'm standing, and I'm asking those questions, and I'm not getting those answers, you cannot tell me as a man to continue believing into the fairy tale as a man. Forget my stance on beliefs. Just as a man, you cannot expect me. You cannot expect me. How can you respect me as a man? That as a man, I'm supposed to teach my children stuff that does not stand on facts, that does not stand on morals, that does not stand on principles, that don't stand on business. You feel me? How do how do you respect that? And this is why society has yet to respect the black man, because we have yet to break out of that chain. And in fact, they're investing millions of dollars into this chain to ensure that you stay at the bottom and destroyed forever and ever and ever until you break free. So when you see me come on and ask questions, should we really be afraid of the God of the Bible when the devil is not afraid of him? When he has not done absolutely nothing to the devil. The devil has, according to the Biblos and the Christian studies, the devil has caused so much chaos on the earth. So much chaos on the earth that God didn't never took his frustration out on the devil. He always took it out on the people. So it leads me to question, should we be worshiping God? Should we fear God? Or should we just be walking with the devil? I'm going to keep it 100. Should we be walking with the devil? Because obviously it looks like this God is afraid of this devil. Devil slapping us, bam, 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 up, down, round, around, around the corner, just beating the mess out of us, bro. And all we got to show for it is hope, my nigga. All we got to show for it is belief, my niggas. All we got to show for it is hope, my niggas. All we got to show for it is belief, my niggas. That's the only thing we got to show when it's pertaining to religion, my nigga. There's absolutely nothing that can show the greatness of us. There's absolutely nothing great that came out of black people when it's pertaining to these religions. Because even in our greatness, we got to answer to one of these niggas. Even in our greatness, we got to answer to one of these niggas. Let me back into my driveway. Oh, there's no goddamn cars. Hey, did this car go from? Backing in my driveway, y'all. Get with me. Yo, I should go get my truck vacuum, bro. Yo, y'all wanna come with me and get my joint vacuum? I got a vacuum this joint, bro. I got some change on me. I got some singles and I got $5 right here. I wanna vacuum this joint. And it's mad nice and it's gonna be cold tomorrow. I wanna get this out the way. I just wanna vacuum this area right here. Word up. I'm debating, guys. 7:06. If I go, nah, I ain't gonna go because I gotta wake up early tomorrow. I'm gonna go inside, take my shower, eat some food. Um, this is gonna be my live for y'all. This is my live. So we fear the God of the big blows. Should be. And to be honest, if you was to ask me, I said, why should we? It seems like he's never there for us. He seems like he never fight for us. He seems like he never avenged us. I don't want to hear about none of this what he did in Egypt. I don't believe it because there's no archaeological proof to show that he did. Don't show me that underground, underwater with all the swords and things. Them niggas could just throw something down there and just put it all together. She's beautiful. God damn. Eh, my bad, y'all. You know, it's summertime. Yeah. These women be looking gorgeous, and all you could do is just look and be like, "You're beautiful." Wow. And I love the sisters that got their beauty, but yet wants to give that beauty to the right one, bro. True word. I love the sisters like that. Like I remember like even sometimes like even for me, you know what I'm saying? I go just have conversations, just to stir conversation, just to see where their head is at and all that. And I'll just look and I'll be like, yo, baby girl, like I know when you speak to an individual like me, it seems kind of, it's like, wow, like they really got some decent men where niggas is not weirdos and acting super stupid and retarded, you know what I'm saying? And women like that. But I'm like, baby girl, you need to give yourself to that right king. You know what I'm saying? That right, that, you know what I'm saying? There's that right nigga. You just gotta just hold to your guns. Never put all your eggs in one basket. You know what I'm saying? And I used to do that. And I still put my eggs in, I ain't lying, I put my eggs in like 50 baskets. Why? Because when you used to live the life that I live, or be outside, or come from where I come from, trying to make it to the age that I'm at right now, is literally it's a monumental mark. To make it at my age, to be as healthy as I am, to be as loving, as wise, to have no taint on my name, whether it's in the streets or in the sheets. You know what I'm saying? There's you're not gonna find nothing about me. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna find me dealing with Mandem. You're not gonna find me dealing with Chinese. You're not gonna find none of that. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna find that. You know what I'm saying? So, I say all that to say, to overcome all that and to be where I'm at now, and to be in a position where I could stand before you guys and give you guys some knowledge and wisdom, some food for thought, things that can, take you guys to the next level. We're at a standstill. That standstill has nothing to do with technology, has nothing to do with AI, has nothing to do with the Jews, has nothing to do. The standstill for us is that we still have not let go of religion. Religion has kept us in the mindset of a child and not of an adult, not of a father, not of a mother, not of a son, not of a daughter. And we're in the state of a child, like literally like a 4-year-old, a 4-year-old learning about Santa Claus for the first time. And continuously every year until he's like 17. How old are they when they realize Santa Claus ain't real? I don't know. I knew Santa Claus wasn't real from the minute I was born. My mom's already told me, nigga, this is Christmas, this is a holiday, and I'm buying your gift. Ain't no white man coming into this house. I said, okay, mommy. You know what I'm saying? So I knew that from the gate. But how many of us is being fed this story? You know what I'm saying? And you believe that Santa Claus is coming to the chimney. People is putting cookies out. You know what I'm saying? People is giving tidings out. The black church make $9.5 billion annually of tidings and offerings. 9.5 billion. Listen, 1.5 billion. Excuse me, 1.5 billion. No, it is 9.5. 1.5 or 9.5 billion dollars. These people make annually, yearly, of tidings and offerings, and we're talking strictly black churches. Meanwhile, all that money has not yet one time been spent in the community. All that money has not yet one time been spent to rebuild a community, spent to buy a home, spent to buy land, spent to put sky rises, spent to buy the projects and allow people to live in these things at affordable prices, at prices that matches their wages. How much you make a year, how much you get paid a week. They want you to do the yearly thing, because if I tell you how much I make a year, this is the estimate, this is what it is. Now what happens if that year you only work, let's just say, if it's 365, let's just say you only work 200 days. It doesn't add up to your yearly salary. You might make less, you might make, you know what I'm saying? You might make less, or you might make what they tell you. It depends. It all depends. But in reality, all that money, you're not taking care of the people. I can show you something right now on my phone now. I'm gonna show you something right now. I'm gonna show you something right now where they got credit cards now. So if you didn't watch the live I did today, when I said Jesus' second coming has happened already. Jesus' second coming is already here. I don't know who told you that he's coming again. That is a lie. Jesus' second coming is here. If you break it down chronologically, if you break it down from the time Jesus died and said that he will appear again to be amongst you guys and you can fly in the sky with him, he told you that. And it says 2,000 years later, yes, from the time Jesus died to the very time that Jesus made his way to the shores or to the eyesight of people that was not Roman or Catholic, Jesus came with the sword. Jesus said, I come to divide. That's exactly what Jesus did. Jesus divided the homes. Jesus divided the wives. Jesus allowed women to lead their husbands, husbands to lead their wives. Jesus came with nothing but chaos. This is facts. And he said he was going to come and he was going to come like a roaring lion. How you think they came into Africa? You think they came subtle in peace? How you think they came into America? You think they came subtle in peace? You think Christopher Columbus really came to sing Kumbaya? No, them niggas came out there to take over land, to start something, to start a business that's gonna be lucrative for them, that they can sit back in their land and reap all the benefits. And that's the same game plan that's been going on since the goddamn very fucking beginning. If you don't see that, then there's something wrong with you. The reason why there's something wrong with you is because you refuse to remove yourself from the number one deception, and that's the ideologies of these niggas. Facts. Call it what you want, that's just what it is. Call it what you want, that's just what it is. Call it what you want, that's just what it is. And when you reach to the level that I have reached when it comes to knowledge and understanding, and I'm not acting like I'm the smartest, wisest nigga on the earth, but I got enough information that I'm able to break from the matrix. And yes, there's a lot of other matrical obstacles that I have to break through, that I have to overcome, or I gotta stop doing, which I know I can, which I know I will. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like I said, it's just personal situations. It is what it is. But when you are able to break out of that and you're able to see what you're seeing, this is the reason why somebody that has over 100,000 subscribers can literally be shadow banned by YouTube because of the information that I bring forth. That's what Ti. That's what my daughter want to dress like, bro. If I just show you this little girl, man, how my daughter, like, sometimes I give all praise and honor to the ancestors, thanks and glory to the creators, thank and glory to, to the El Kebulan deities that allowed me to continue being in my daughter's life to prevent this type of imagery that they trying to promote to today's young girls. These young girls now all of a sudden they're wearing true religions. Why are they putting true religions on? Why? Because the symbol in the back pocket makes you instantly look at somebody's butt. You know what I'm saying? Anytime they put symbols in the back pocket, it's for you to catch their attention to look at booty. That's just what they're doing. This is how you sexualize individuals. And then now they're making jackets and shirts that's short shorts. You know what I'm saying? My baby mother went to go buy my daughter some clothes. They went to the mall or something. She told me it took her damn near close to a goddamn month I said a month, you hear me? Goddamn close to like 30 goddamn hours to go find some decent clothes because everything is short shorts. Everything is short shorts, and all of these things is intentional, my niggas. And the reason why they're able to do that is because we allow them to take all the power from us. Black people have absolutely no power. The civil rights don't even protect black people no more. We have absolutely no power. We are literally in a state of yes, okay, sorry, please forgive me. Can I have my job? If you're not gonna hire me, fine. I'm gonna go look somewhere else. I'm gonna beg somebody else for a job, and the person that you're gonna beg to is never gonna be somebody that look like you. It is what it is. We're doing these jobs because we lost it all. We got nothing. We got nothing to stand on. We got no foundation. Somebody can't lose their job right now. Can go to a black bank, to go to the community, go to the hood, go to somebody and just genuinely say, "Damn, you suffering like that? All right, my brother, look, I'm gonna give you 50 grand, my nigga. I'm gonna give you 50 grand. I'm gonna set you up with my accountant, and we're gonna make sure that you are on your feet, so you and your family could be good, and we're gonna be good together." No, you don't get that. No, we're lost from that, and all of it is us pimping. Facts. But that's my time, guys. Wanted to just chop it up with you. We're going to continue supporting, like, comment, share, subscribe. You know who this is. You know who I am. I am him, Jules, the NBIC. And again, I am him, Mr. Keep My Foot on All Next. I'm a holler.